you doing? This is Coffee Break with Jimmy, and I'll say first, please subscribe to my channel and press like and talk a little bit about what we talked about yesterday. I did the KISS, keep it simple, stupid, because we make things more complicated than what they should be. And Democrats mainly, they make things more complicated to where that's why they're saying this, this Jim Crow 2.0. This is nothing like Jim Crow at all, and what it meant to black people in the 50s and 60s, and it's nothing like that now. In fact, I think he's got more. I think the president's got more support from the black community than they did last time, and I think they had like over 50% support for them in the last election. And if they didn't, I know it was pretty close. But mainly men, but a lot of the black women. You could see this on that program that he was on the other day. That it was during Black History Month. They were showing different people that had something to do with the administration, and it was a really good program. And a lot of black people showed up there in support of the president, like. That one lady, I can't remember her name now, but she just gives people, helps him notify people that are in jail that don't need to be there, been there long past their term and what their term should have ever been to begin with. And then the grandmother, I really liked her. I felt bad for her. She just lost her grandson. Well, she lost her grandson a while back, and so she's been fighting for justice. And she said, she goes, let's be real. This was a black man that shot my black grandson, and she says, get off the president's back. Let him do his job. He's doing a great job for us. Get off his back. And then she looked at the president, goes, can I have a hug? Sure. He gave her a hug. I thought she was great, but I mentioned her yesterday in the podcast yesterday. But that's what's going on. The SAVE Act. They're gonna have this filibuster. The Democrats are. They're gonna try to shut it down. They've got part of the country shut down right now. Part of the the big beautiful bill. I guess there's one section of it. There are 12 appropriation bills inside that one bill. But so there's one part of the 12 parts that they got shut down right now. And that's Antifa not Antifa. I'm sorry. What is it called when they help you out in the Coast Guard and I'll think of it in a minute. But anyway, it's a big part of our country. Even special forces, not special forces, but the Secret Service is part of this that's been shut down. So the Democrats are going to do whatever they can to shut down the government, to make the president look as bad as they possibly can. And of course, they had this ruling yesterday on tariffs. The IEFA, the 122 section. I guess the president thought this was going to be the easiest route, the most common route, I guess. But it's set up for emergencies. It's set up for a short period. It's supposed to go no more than 150 days. And then Congress will enact something to allow you to go on with the tariffs after that. But the way they were doing it, it was just kind of simultaneous and carrying on. But I guess it's not supposed to be that way. And the Supreme Court weighed in on it, and they came out 3-6 against tariffs. Now, there are other ways. There's Section 301 and Section 232, and that's the way Trump is going to go that route. And he can also, as an executive order, he announced a 10% tariff across the board. And that's helping our GDP growth. Everything that's doing so well from us has a lot to do with the tariffs. Not all, it has all to do with the tariffs. Everything's growing, everything's getting better. And it's going to get better. By the time the midterms get around here, you're going to find out that things are going to get better. And we have to vote Republican. We have to vote this way so we can keep our president in office for the last 2-3 years and let him keep, what's going to happen. We've talked about this before. They're going to impeach him. House, if they get control of the House will automatically impeach him. And that's what they'll do. And that means 2.5 years will be wasted. Then we voted him in to do a job to clean this mess up that Biden left him. I mean, come on. 20 million, 25 million, 50, I don't know, 50. They say different numbers. But just to say 15 million illegals come across unvetted, unchecked. We don't know if they're sick. We don't know if they committed their crimes. We don't know anything about them. And so Trump is trying to get them out, and he's getting a lot of help from even some of the blue states are getting tired of it. You know, some of the sheriffs are saying, we want to work with the president. We want to work with the ICE officers to get the bad folks out of here that doesn't need to be here in our country. And you know, because they don't say anything about those killed, like that Rachel Moran and different people, you know, that Lake and Riley that were killed by illegals, and you know, things that shouldn't have happened. They should still be with us. So a lot of that stuff, they're not saying anything about. They're going to do anything that they can do. They can hammer President Trump with. They're going to. And now this latest thing, they're dancing in the streets saying all the tariffs are gone. Well, no, I'm sorry, guys. The tariffs aren't altogether gone. It's just going to be done. There's other routes that they have to do other tariffs. Like I just said, I don't know the whole everything about him. I read about him a little bit. I explained a little bit about him yesterday. But the Section 301 is Section 232. He's going to be able to do tariffs, individual, country to country, to save our country and our workforce. That our workforce is here, and that's coming back. It's creating a lot of new jobs for our country. And so it's just like that grandma said, "Hey, get off our president's back. Let him do his job." I like the way she said that. But anyway, so that in Iran, what's going on in Iran? I mean, yeah, come on. We got our domestic problems, of course, and we always will. But then we got our world problems, things in the Middle East. That's going on over there. The Gerald Ford's on its way, the biggest aircraft carrier we got. Its fleet is on its way over. I believe it's in the Mediterranean. It might be coming up the Red Sea and coming up to the backside of Iran. I don't know. They might just stay in the Mediterranean because they can reach them just as well from the Mediterranean. So the president, the USS Kennedy's there, and that's that battle group. And now the Ford's going to be there, and they've got planes. They got F-22s and refueling planes. And actually in the Azores, they got a Air Force base in the Azores, and they got them there, and they're refueling everything. And so they got other attack planes. And, you know, the stealth F-122s they're pretty awesome birds. And I guess these are all Air Force birds. So you got everybody in play here. You got the Navy, Marines, Air Force. Well, not the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard's protecting us here, but I'm sure the Space Force has got their hands in the mix too. But either Iran's going to make a deal, and things are going to get better. But I don't think the mullahs want to give up. They want to give up power. You know, I was in the Marine Corps. I joined the Marine Corps in 1970. I was there in 1979 when they exiled the Shah, and the mullahs took over, and they've been in power ever since. And what they've said ever since was death to the West, you know, death to America, death to Israel. It's been going on for 47 years now, whatever it might be. I'm not quite sure. I think it's 48 years has been going on. And this is the closest we've ever come. And the Iranian people, I mean, come on, they're protesting like crazy. I think they've killed 35,000 or 40,000 Iranians of their own people, killed by their own military. You know, just fired upon them. They were out there protesting and just started killing them off. And we killed a lot of them, thousands of people. President Trump doesn't want that. He doesn't want battles. He doesn't want war. He doesn't want fights. But he wants the mullahs to stop killing their people. They're going to hang, I don't know, 180, 200 people. They're going to hang them from cranes or whatever. Just hang them. 180 people. And Trump says, you hang one man, and we're coming after you. We're gonna unload on you. You know, they knew what Midnight Hammer, what happened there. And I guess that was, that was just a taste of what we can do. We're stronger than that. Ask Venezuela how we came in there, unannounced, boom, boom, bam, bam, took care of business. And now we're going to help Venezuela. We're going to help the people out in Venezuela. We're going to help the people out in Iran when this is all done. But don't be surprised, you know. Don't be surprised if the president doesn't enact something here. A quick strike, probably take away their communications, their towers, everything. For them to strike any other country, any other base. We got bases in Bahrain, and I think also in they've got some bases there in the Middle East, but I know they got one in Bahrain. And now I don't think they have anything that can reach the United States, but they can surely reach Israel. They've got firepower that can reach that far. But they'll probably take out those batteries first, and just let Iran know, the mullahs know they'll probably allow them to be exiled someplace, and they probably have their own people, somebody that they have that maybe the Shah and his whole group there, that maybe that was exiled, maybe they come back and help some leadership and come in, and somebody run the country of Iran like the people want, because that's the country for the people of Iran. And you see different reports on different that the Kurds that are there are fighting back, and the Kurds are all over. They're in Syria, they're in Hungary, they're all over the place. They're in Iran, they're in Afghanistan, and actually the Kurds, I think, part of Iran is part of Kurdistan, I believe. I have to double check on that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but so something's going to happen there, and then we can't wait for. They're going to have the presidential address on Tuesday, and I'm sure all of the Supreme Court, all the justices will be there. They usually have front row seats. And I'm sure Trump will still speak with them with respect, just like the military will be there also. All of our leaders there will be there, and so I understand that the Republicans, of course, are going to be there, but some of the Democrats have just they abstained from coming. They're not going to come to the presidential address. Of course, you're not going to have Nancy Pelosi, who was one of the most unreal things I've ever saw when she tore up his presidential address back in his first term. I thought that was really disrespectful. But of course, she's a Democrat, and she is Nancy Pelosi. Thinks she's a real badass. Anyway, that's not going to happen. But I understand that a lot of Democrats aren't going to show up. I think Fetterman will show up. I mean, as a Democrat, I don't agree with a lot of things that he says, but at least it's somebody he can talk to. You can work something out. You can debate with him, and that's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it's supposed to be. Like I said yesterday, what did I say? Keep it simple, stupid, right? And I think that is something that we need to work on, keeping things simpler. Anyhow, so this is Coffee Break with Jimmy. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and press like and share, and I will see you next time on Coffee Break with Jimmy.